Well, hello everybody. It's Buddy, and I'm here live, and we're going to check out some interesting subjects tonight. I'm going to jump right into it just as soon as I refine the fact that I am live, and I know I'm talking. Yes, I am live, and the sound is working. Everything is working. All right. In the background, you see I've got a image of Ozark, Missouri. That's what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about some projects. Burger King, everybody's asking the question as I ride my bicycle through Ozark, Missouri. Everybody says, when they going to do the Burger King? When's it going to be built? And I tell them what little bit I do know that's factual. So I want to show you what's factual and fact checkable about Burger King. And this is my latest update right here. And this is the video. I'm going to start with the oldest one first and show you. I'm going to check it real quick. All right. Now, on this video here, this is when the slab was poured. Excuse me, not the slab. The footer was the first thing poured, and this is the footer. So let me prepare to show you what I'm talking about. I get my volume set and I'm gonna hit play and move myself out of the way a little bit better. The focus is right here on the concrete footer being poured. Concrete's being placed into the earth footer for the slab. I said it wrong again. For the foundation, which is the most important part of a building, the foundation. All right, let's jump right into it. Yeah, the same type, same style. Look how deep it is, though. That's a lot of concrete they're putting down there, deep. I'm up on the road bank, and I'm looking down on it here in this shot. Boy, these bushes are in the way. Yeah, you think? Now I'm down on the actual fence line. I'm not on the property, and I have the camera rolling. But right here where the mouse is, that is the slab for the foundation. It's earth and slab. They got all of that here. They've been pouring, so they got, you can see they've got all that right there done. But they've got this run to make and this run to make. And that's where we're going to talk about. Let's listen in. Oh, I got to click it. Now the truck's empty and he's backing it up to clean out the chute. And you can see right there where he's already done cleaned out one truck. So obviously this is the second truck. And they still need another truck. It's a huge foundation footer. He's going to clean that truck out right there. He didn't have much in it, did he? Much in it. That's pretty good. That's what you want to see. You don't want to see him wasting it. All right, a picture's worth 1,000 words. A video's worth 10,000. And what we know is based on factual evidence, and this information can be fact checked, but the footer was poured right here. You can see the footer was poured January the 2nd. So if you pull weather data, we have a little bit of a problem. I'm going to play this right here, and you listen to it really close to see how cold the weather got for 4 consecutive days, possibly 5.
Footer pour, January 2nd, 2025. The foundation footer for the Burger King was poured on January 2nd, 2025. Weather data confirms a high of 47 degrees Fahrenheit and a low of 30 degrees Fahrenheit that night, with lows remaining below freezing, 32 degrees Fahrenheit, for the next 5 days, January 3rd to 7th, 27 degrees Fahrenheit, 27 degrees Fahrenheit, 17 degrees Fahrenheit, 13 degrees Fahrenheit, 16 degrees Fahrenheit. Highs on January 3rd, 41 degrees Fahrenheit, and January 4th, 35 degrees Fahrenheit, were above freezing, but January 5th to 7th had highs of 34 degrees Fahrenheit, 17 degrees Fahrenheit, and 27 degrees Fahrenheit, near or below freezing. No protective measures, example blankets, were used, exposing the concrete to freezing conditions during its critical early curing phase.
Now, this information can be readily available. It's archived at weather.com for Ozark, Missouri for those days. That was the coldest 4 days that you would, if you were really like on your P's and Q's, like I had to be for all those years that I poured concrete as a field engineer. I was responsible for the weather before there was uh, cell phones, before there was any way to get the weather on locations. So I managed to figure it out by using radar. And those radars were coming from the airports that were closest to me. And yeah, so I could tell what the weather was way back then. Of course, I'd watch the weather, but on the news, but they don't know nothing. Nowadays, they can predict it maybe 4 days out, and they still like almost 50-50. But this is at buddyhuggins.com. You just go there, and this link will pop up first. You can read all the technical information about the what is the problem with it freezing. Well, first off, there were no blankets used, no kerosene heaters were used, and so it was out in the frozen weather. There were no cylinders on site that had been concrete cylinders that were obvious, and that is the problem. When concrete freezes, it cracks. Like, you remember when you walked on the ice and you took a step and you fell through the water? Well, that's like having concrete that is not cured and it's frozen and it cracks. That's one analysis to look at it. But as we look at the second video, these are pictures that goes with the second. This is the floor slab. Now we're going to discuss the floor slab real quick. It's a short video. Let me play it. Well, we should look at this. They're back working on the Burger King. Oh, wow, look at that. They put a bunch of rock, 2 big dumps in that driveway. Almost all of it's gone. And today's Monday. Saturday and Sunday wasn't nobody April there. April the 14th. But now they are there. 2025. Well, they're going to build on that foundation that was there during the cold weather. I reckon they got the test labs numbers, and they all discussed it and thought it was good enough to do it. Boy, that slab does not look level from here. Look at that. And if you take notice, that rock that was brought in for the job site, it has very little aggregate dust, to say the least, which is a problem. That is just not, maybe it's my camera. My camera's not level. All right. That's where I'm at. Look at that. Village Inn. Now there's a tamper right there. But based on my knowledge, has to be wet down. Oh, she look at that. How and it has to be tamped in like 4 inches, 5 inches, then tamp it down, and then 4 or 5 on top of that to get it to compact at level. Now I want to pause it right here. That is the boards that they use for the framework for the floor slab. And you can see how much progress they've made from that morning to this. This is the foreman walking up to me. You gonna put the mud on top of that today?
No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Has Danny Hall been out here, the city inspector?
I don't know who you are. You are the superintendent?
No. But you might be getting ahead of yourself. Let me shut this off. Well, I'm headed over here to the... Now that's where I cut the... When I was telling him he might be getting ahead of himself, that's where I cut it off at. So that was the 14th, and this is the 15th. We'll start playing back, and you can see what happened. So this has been from the, well, let me just play the Burger King to see what they got done. I can't tell if they poured it from here, but I bet they have, based on what they told me yesterday. Yeah, it's poured. Let's go look. Well, we got concrete in place and already done pulled the side forms off of them. Wonder what time they started pouring. Look at that. Well, based on the time I was told, less than 6 hours. Already got the side forms off. Ain't that something? See that right there?
For a Burger King slab foundation.
And he's cutting it. That is a dry saw. The worst thing, doing it too quick, it makes it have cracks where it doesn't need cracks. The timing for removing that is in the description inside of the inside of the blog page, and you can read the detailed information about when it's supposed to get saw cut, how, be wet or dry, and then you can see the actual tearing away of the form work, and that is questionable. 6 hours is not it's not beneficial for a lot of reasons.
In Ozark, Missouri, under typical April conditions, you should leave the side forms in place for 36 hours before removal, ensuring the concrete has set and can withstand the process without damage. If the weather turns colder or there's any doubt about the concrete strength, wait closer to 48 hours and consult with your project engineer or concrete supplier for confirmation. Always continue curing the slab after form removal to meet the 2018 IBC standards and ensure long-term performance.
See how green that is? It was still, it's still wet. My whole motivation for this is to talk about this and bring this up is so you you know that quality for a type of building like a Burger King is very important, especially for Ozark, Missouri. We want high quality buildings. And for the safety of people in the years to come, I have to tell and talk about this so people will understand that frozen concrete is weak. It's the difference between buttermilk and sweet milk. It's that kind of difference, night and day. When something is got high quality testing done, then there's a fallback with cylinders. You can concrete cylinders, they make them and they test them. The foundation slab had no cylinders on site. This finished floor slab had no cylinders on site. So I'm going to a meeting already scheduled Monday night, and I'll be there at the Board of Aldermen, Ozark, Missouri, and we'll be talking about. I have 5 minutes, but I'll be able to get my thoughts across, hopefully. By then, if you're watching this, come to the meeting. If you want Ozark, Missouri to have quality people in quality places doing the right thing at the right time when it comes to this construction. I'm a historical photographer and videographer. I've been in this area for over 10 years, and I've videotaped all kinds of construction around here. This is one that has really got me puzzled. So basically, I'm asking for transparency. I'd like to be able to see the test, and I'd like the people that are in charge to show me the test. And if it is good, no harm done. But if the tests are really not there, like I'm saying, those by standards for Missouri, those cylinders are not to be moved for quite a few days, and they break them at different days. like 8 days out, 30 days, and then there's one that's 90 days. If we don't have that information, there is an option. And that option is they can core drill and do another type of static test. Core drill is one thing, static test is uses uh, well, it uses a type of, let's just say, microwave energy to look into the concrete. I may be saying that wrong because they've changed the technology since I've been retired. But we had it way back there, and in the days that I worked for heavy construction, Army Corps engineers, and then also worked building paper mill and power plants. So I've seen a lot of concrete poured, and I was responsible for a lot of the quality control as a field engineer. I was responsible for setting the forms with the carpenter crew and the carpenter superintendents. We usually, on a big job like a paper mill, we had 5 superintendents and we had 2 survey crews. I was always on the quality control crew. Um, to prove a point, I know a little bit about quality in concrete. We all got to stick together and not throw anyone under the bridge, for lack of a way to put it. Um, education and quality people go together. We don't want, personally, myself, I don't want shortcuts when it comes to some of these projects because we got a future that's so bright in Ozark and Christian County. There's going to be a lot of heavy construction. A lot of projects are going to gravitate to this area in the coming years. So if we're going to get them right, we got to get them right now and make them right. And if we need to change the rules about the low bidder, so be it. There's ways that you can write into the contract the quality procedures where it has to be done right, or you got a problem. So that's my whole focus for that particular part of the live show tonight. If you want to come to the meeting, it's Monday night, Ozark, Missouri, City Hall, 7 o'clock. And the speakers go first after the introduction and the formalities of opening the Board of Aldermen meeting. So I'm going to say what I need to say, and I want everybody to understand. I'm only doing this out of the fact that I want a future for construction to be safe and durable, and it starts with concrete and reinforcement. That let me show you some pictures. That's the dry saw. Let me see, can I navigate through there? Okay, go here, here, here. That's a traveling trowel. I got close-ups of it. It looks like it had not even been used. Now they make it look really good. It looks really good. And as far as a Burger King building, that's that's a lot of weight on that slab and then a lot of weight on that foundation. That's just a standard benchmark. It's flagged up so it can be protected. And then I wanted to show you this wood right here. So in Houston, Texas, with the fence that they got jerry rigged around this, that would be gone in Houston, Texas, or New Orleans. It would have to be a guard. But that's the beauty about living in the Ozarks in Ozark, Missouri, is that we we don't have that thieving type mentality here, and we don't want it here. We want safe communities, and we want our construction sites to be able to put their wood right out there where they need it. Now, ain't that something? It needs tarps over it, and that's another reason I brought it up for quality control. Why would you let it get rained on? It just, it, yeah, it just needs to be brought up. But let me think. There was one other thing I want to show you. I think you've seen it in the video. Which one was it? It must be this one. He's going to clean that truck out right there. No, that ain't the one. This is the actual footer. Okay, it's at the beginning of this one. On that foundation that was there during the cold weather. Look at that. Now you see right here, all of this needs to be wet, and that aggregate needs to be pliable to where when it packs, it gets hard, very hard. And that evidently wasn't to spec. And now within a short period of time, I come back and they got the plastic down, and that is a type of chicken wire. Chicken wire is as thin as or thinner than your pinky finger. It's 4 by 4 square, 4 inches by 4 inches. There is no leveling blocks or no chairs. We call them chairs because it holds up the rebar. In this case, chicken wire, no bigger than that. But if it was rebar, you still wouldn't want it to be on the black tarp, the black plastic. So, yeah, I can tear things apart, but quality is quality, and doing the job right is very, very important. It's, I asked this gentleman walking up to me about the cylinders, and I asked him had he seen a local inspector. And of course, you go. Of course, no was the answer. But that's out here, the city inspector. That's the point of getting to the meeting and make it where I'm asking in a pleasant way for transparency. And if nobody is not aware of these specifics about how each thing has its rules and regulations according to the testing labs and the procedures for concrete, then everybody will get educated. That's all I'm asking for. Is everybody get on the same page with some of these projects. We have a beautiful, look at this picture. This road is being totally, all that grass you see is being filled in with concrete. They're doing a wonderful job. A highway job is really strict standards, and a bridge job is really strict standards. So that's all I wanted to say and talk about, is to let people know that We want quality. They have a plan that goes 30 years out. We could have right now, it is one of the best places to live in the country. There are so many people that have already gravitated to this area from Ukraine and Russia. And over the years, it has been, well, for a while, a lot of people from California and Washington State. And that's okay. They need to know what a community of like minded, loving people really feel like, where you don't necessarily worry about having a conversation with a stranger because we're just good old boys, good old girls, and life is good. So let me change gears and go to something that I posted earlier. See how I did that? I hit older, oldest, oh, yeah. When you go to the bottom, you click that, and then you see a whole new thread. Listen to this.
Senator Josh Hawley takes on Big Pharma in 2025, the fight for lower drug prices.
I tell you what, Josh Hawley, when he comes to Ozark, Missouri, he's less than from here in this local area where the Burger King is and the school system is. He lives less than 15 minutes from here when he comes here. And yeah, he's taking on Big Pharma along with Robert Kennedy Jr. And I'm going to play this video and you'll hear how he lays himself out and explains things very well.
Mr. Scott, let me start with you. You represent the largest association.
Oh, this one is not going to allow me to open it up. Let me do this just in case. Capture that logo right there, that number, and then I go here, and then I cut it in here, paste, and then I go to it. And then we can see it big screen.
Mr. Scott, let me start with you. You represent the largest association of PBM companies, I think. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I believe the only.
The largest and only. Perfect. Now, just help me understand what it is your business is supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be making drugs cheaper for patients. Is that basically right?
We're supposed to help employers and plan sponsors administer benefits at a more affordable point for the consumers.
Okay, more affordable for consumers. That's patients. So you're supposed to be making drug. Would you say that you're succeeding?
We've had success in managing the net cost of drugs across most categories of medications, and yes, in large part, but we have the challenge of ever-escalating drug company list prices to work against.
Okay, let me translate that for you. I think the answer you're looking for is no. You're not succeeding at all. Look, let's look at some data. This data shows the percentage that Americans pay more than other countries for brand name drugs. In Canada, we pay 324% more than Canadians pay, 445% more than France, and so on. On average, all together, we pay 422%.
Let that sink in. On average, we pay 422% higher than I think this says here, right here, it says 30 countries. I researched it and got this graph to go along with what Harley's talking about.
More than all of these other countries. Now, either you're the worst negotiators in the history of the world, or something's wrong with your business model. Which is it?
Those, if I may, Senator, those are comparisons of list prices. Drug companies alone, as we talked about earlier, set the list price. The PBM is negotiating down the net cost.
Look, this consumers are. You're not telling me that consumers aren't paying more in the United States than they are overseas, are you?
I think the data would tell us that they are exposed to higher price points. And then it comes to an issue of benefit design. The plan decides what your copay
Yeah,
should be, what your exposure.
and the benefit, here's the benefit design. The design of the plan benefits the insurance companies and you. It does not benefit the patients. Patients are getting screwed, if I may. We are paying 2, 3, 4 times more for drugs. People in my state can't afford insulin. They can't afford the most basic drugs. That's when they have plans that are managed by you, and you guys are getting rich off of it. I mean, absolutely filthy
Rich.
rich. The FTC's report, so this is the government report now, found that the top 3 PBM companies generated $7.3 billion in profits between 2017 and 2022. $7.3 billion. That's a lot of money. Why is it that nobody can afford their drugs in this country, but you're making $7.3 billion? That's more than the revenue of some nations.
If I may, 2 points. One, you're not wrong that we need more competition among drug companies. The patent reforms that you all have advanced in this committee, the more we can have competition, we can leverage that to address that cost challenge that we have.
I'm glad you say we need competition, because
second,
don't you think the competition we really need is to break up this alliance between insurance companies and PBMs?
No, sir.
The biggest 3 PBMs are owned by the biggest insurance companies. You're like one huge, giant pharma industry, a giant pharma series of monopolists, right? Why is it a good idea for the biggest PBMs to be owned by the biggest insurers, and now you're buying up pharmacies as well? Why should we
Tell them
allow that?
about it, Josh.
Why should insurance companies, PBMs, also own pharmacies?
To be clear, pharmacy benefit managers support lower list prices for all prescription drugs for every patient. Our job is to lower drug costs.
Our job is to lower drug costs. Yeah. Now this is the same man that Josh Hawley's talking to, and this is for entertainment purposes only. And yeah, do your due diligence when you're dealing with people like this. You got to fact check and you got to double check everything. Don't take nobody's word for what a prescription cost should be. Everything needs to be transparent. That's what Josh is telling him. Let's hear how he's giving his point of view.
But rising prices on some drugs limits our ability to achieve that mission. We have to address the drug company sticker price. The sticker price, set solely by the drug company, decides the starting point for all PBM and drug company negotiations. So it's simple. If that sticker price were lower, employers and patients would pay less. If we're going to break the patient affordability challenge once and for all, we can't do it alone. The ball is in pharma's court to lower the list price. Join us in telling drug companies to lower their list prices. So
How is that good for patients?
It's good for patients and for plans because it's creating optionality in the market.
It's creating optionality. In the state of Missouri, just last year, we lost 73 independent pharmacies across my state in 19 different counties. Do you know that 2 entire counties in the state of Missouri now have, wait for it, 0 pharmacies? 0. Now, you are making $7.3 billion, you and the companies that you represent, and yet 2 whole counties in the state of Missouri have no pharmacies, 73 closed last year. Why shouldn't we be breaking you guys up? I mean, this looks like classic monopolist behavior. The patients are getting screwed, Missourians are getting screwed, you're getting rich.
Respectfully, Senator, you keep citing a gross revenue number of the every dollar spent on prescription drugs.
You don't have profits?
Profits are in the low single digits on
Your profits are not better than they've ever been?
I don't know on the trend over the years.
Yes, you
but
do. You know exactly. It is all laid out in the FTC report. You absolutely know the answer. Your profits have increased and increased and increased, and now you are buying up pharmacies, and you're buying up pharmacies and you're putting independent pharmacies out of business, and you're doing it deliberately because you are giving special rebates and lower costs to the pharmacies that you own, and you are directing patients to the pharmacies that you own. So
Now, do you hear that? That is highly controversial. And Josh Hawley is the type of person that will sit there and tell the people what they're doing wrong And that's what he just did. I love him for that. And Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana, go to my shorts and check that out. You'll see these two guys are just really got the common man's uh, yeah back.
That if they don't go to a pharmacy that you own, they have to pay higher costs, they have to pay out-of-network costs, right? You're nodding your head, Dr. McGowan. You've lived this, right?
I have lived this. I live it every day. Yes, that's exactly what's happening.
So, Mr. Scott, why don't we break you guys up? Can you agree? I mean, if you believe in competition, you just said a second ago, we need more competition, by golly. Well, let's do it.
And
let's break up the PB. Let's pass a law that says PBMs cannot own pharmacies. You for that?
No, sir. And we've seen that competition grow in the last 5 years by 18% in the PBM market, by 9% in the last 2 years.
Wait a minute. You've seen the number of pharmacies grow in this country?
The number of PBMs, meaning it's a competitive marketplace.
It's not a competitive marketplace. The biggest three PBMs own 80% of the business. 80%. And you're in turn owned by the biggest insurance companies. The problem is there is no competition. It's a racket. It's a total racket. And the people who lose are the patients who cannot afford their prescription drugs. It's time for this Congress to do something about it.
He called it exactly what it is. It's a racket. And he's telling the truth. All right. I really appreciate his honesty. Now, as everybody knows, this deal with this plane is getting a lot of controversial people lashing back. But
Detective mail sign Trump's jet gambit, unraveling the Qatar conspiracy. Police car light fire.
Yep. This is a short I made. Let me see if I can pull it up.
The money we spend, the maintenance we spend on those planes to keep them tippy-top is astronomical. Because, again, we're talking about we have 40-year-old aircraft. The money we spend, the maintenance we spend on those planes to keep them tippy-top is astronomical. You wouldn't even believe it.
Fact check. Qatar wants to gift the jet to the Pentagon, then Trump's library. Sounds shady, right? Critics scream it violates the Constitution Emoluments Clause, pointing to Trump's $5.5 billion Qatar golf deal. Security risks? Huge. The plane could be bugged. Qatar denies it's final, and Trump's team says it's all legal. But here's the twist. What if Trump's not falling for a trap? What if he's setting one? Is he exposing past hidden gifts to politicians or baiting his enemies to overplay their hand?
Ooh-wee. What if he's setting a trap? See, sometimes you got to drag something that's in the dark and hidden from public. You got to kind of like drag it right out into the open. And you'll find out that what you think is true is a trap. And what you think is a trap is the opposite. It's true. These people are diabolical. Even Trump. I love him. I think the world of him. But tippy top. What in the world does tippy top have to do with anything? Listen to this.
Tippy-top is astronomical. Those planes, to keep them tippy-top is astronomical. Because, again, we're talking about we have 40-year-old aircraft. The money we spend, the maintenance we spend on those planes to keep them tippy-top is astronomical.
Look at that.
You wouldn't even believe it.
Fact check. Qatar wants to gift the jet to the Pentagon, then Trump.
Trojan horse. That's why I put that there. Trojan horse.
Trump's library. Sounds shady, right? Critics scream it violates the Constitution Emoluments Clause, pointing to Trump's $5.5 billion.
Now it says right here, tippy top, top shape. What was the year that was quoted? Was 04/02/2018. Somebody is playing 5D chess, and I think it is this man right here.
Qatar golf deal. Security risks? Huge. The plane
Huge.
could be bugged. Qatar denies it's final, and Trump's teams
It's not about the plane. The plane, boss. The plane. Look, the plane. It ain't about the plane.
says it's all legal. But here's the twist. What if Trump's not falling for a trap? What if he's setting one? Is he exposed?
Is he exposing the past of other people in high government places getting gifts? Not just the president, but the vice president. Not just the vice president, but the cabinet. Is he setting a trap? We'll see.
Exposing past hidden gifts to politicians or baiting his enemies to overplay their hand?
And boy, do they overplay their hand. They think right now that they have all of the control and all of the bells and whistles. Trump to refurbish. I can't play that because I can do this. Skip ahead. Skip ahead. They're talking about FDR right there. Well, go to this buddyhuggins.com, buddyhuggins.blogspot, and watch that video right there. Is really good. Watch that video, of course, rewatch mine. Leave a comment in the description of mine, and I want to know that you like what I'm doing. And let's go to the next one. Okay, this is a cute little car. I really like that car. Okay, we got two cars here. Let's get to the pictures first. Let me see if the story makes any sense. So I'm gonna play it. Y'all stay tuned in. Don't go nowhere. I'm gonna play it. Okay, this is another one that's null. I got to go here, and then I got to go here, and then I got to put it here, and then I got to hit that, and then I got to say okay, enter. Now I got it where we can go. The owner of this vehicle is somebody right here in Ozark, Missouri, and he owns an oil company called Signal. Signal went and got this car, found it in Washington, and brought it here to his store. His headquarters is right across the street. I'll cut in some pictures so you can see it. That's his training academy for all his stores.
Meet this little beauty, a 1979 Citroën 2CV, straight out of the French countryside, now living its best life right here in Ozark, Missouri, at a Signal gas station. But how did this quirky French classic end up across from Richard Scrivener's training office? Well, buckle up, because this is a story of nostalgia, adventure, and a lifelong love for classic cars. Back in the 1960s, a young Richard Scrivener, the man behind Scrivener Oil Company and Signal gas stations, was a free-spirited teenager hitchhiking through France. Picture this, a lanky kid with a dream and a thumb in the air, getting picked up by friendly locals in these adorable Citroën 2CVs. With their rounded roofs and headlights that look like they're winking at you, these cars were the heartbeat of rural France, built to carry farmers, eggs, and even the occasional hitchhiker without breaking a single yoke. Fast forward a few decades, and Richard Scrivener never forgot those rides. That little 2CV had stolen his heart. So when he spotted this cherry red gem all the way in Washington state, he knew he had to have it. He had it shipped straight to Ozark, Missouri to sit proudly at his Signal gas station, right across from his training office, where it's become a local legend. Now let's talk about Signal. With 12 locations across southwest Missouri, Signal isn't just about filling up your tank with top-quality gasoline and diesel. Oh no, they're serving up premium coffee, tasty snacks, and a smile that'll make your day. Whether you're in Springfield, Ozark, or anywhere in between, Signal's impeccably clean stores and competitive prices have made them a local favorite. And behind it all, Scrivener Oil Company, the family-owned powerhouse keeping Southwest Missouri fueled up and ready to roll. So next time you're cruising through Ozark, swing by Signal and say hi to this 1979 Citroen 2CV. It's more than just a car. It's a rolling reminder that the best stories come from the open road and a passion for the classics that never fades.
Wow, that was a good one. It came across. I'm not bragging on myself or anything. I'm just saying it came across good when I used the reader to read it. And yeah. Now this is a pretty one. I want to show you this one. Look at that. Look at that. Would you just look at that? Is this one going to play full screen? Yeah. No, it ain't. So I got to cut this one in and go here and cut that in up here. Could have done it both places, either one. Hit that. And now we can see it. All right, in full frame. Look at the front end of it. Ain't that beautiful? Look at it.
Something. I don't know what yet. Well, it's some guys don't want to be nice, some guys don't care. Man, I tell you that thing is trauma, it's trauma, everything's great. I think. Of course, I never went to a car show and had mine in it because I just went to a car show.
Fireball V8. That's what it said.
So a lot of people are really into it.
That's the battery.
That's okay, you're different. got them all stroking. I bet this thing will ease on down behind. And it is a Riviera.
Yeah, it's a the model. So it's a Buick. The model is super packaged as Riviera, and then later on Riviera just became its own model.
Yeah, the years.
I love it.
This is beautiful. The chrome is perfect.
Have you had it appraised?
No.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. Buick super.
That's how you open the hood. Huh? Look at that
A
hood.
real spare tire, buddy.
Yeah.
Look at that.
How about that? A trunk for ages.
No rust. Looks good. Buddy Huggins. I appreciate you showing it to me.
Anytime. Thank you for appreciating it. Thank you.
What's the most interesting thing that people should know?
The conversion here to the Packard taillights. So this was chopped and converted over to have Packard taillights and the Packard bumper.
It was converted to do that.
Yeah, completely different from what it looked like when it came out in 53.
So if I looked at a picture of a 53, it's going to look different.
Completely
Now,
different.
what was the name of the car that this come off of?
These are Packard taillights and a Packard bumper.
Packard taillight, Packard bumpers.
Yeah.
That's why it has the exhaust going through it.
Right through the bumper. And then the deck lid and the hood were shaved. And this is actually a Bentley emblem with a Buick insert.
Okay, I'm just now catching on to that. I heard y'all talking about it, but 1953.
The doors were shaved, and then these are actually out of a 40s Lincoln push button.
Okay, so they modified all that.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you for showing it to me. It's a beauty.
Anytime. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right.
Hi, I'm Buddy Huggins, and thanks for joining me to check out this incredible 1953 Buick Super Riviera. This classic hardtop coupe is a real gem, powered by a 322 cubic inch V8 engine with 170 horsepower and a smooth Dynaflow transmission. It's got that iconic Buick style with a panoramic rear window and chrome that shines like new. But what makes this Buick extra special? It's been customized with Packard tail lights, a Packard bumper, and even push-button doors from a 1940s Lincoln, plus a shaved hood and deck lid for that sleek look. I had a blast meeting the owner and sharing this beauty with you all. If you love classic cars as much as I do, give this video a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe for more automotive adventures. Thanks for watching.
If you haven't been to my YouTube channel, go there and hit that picture right there, and you can subscribe to my channel. All right. I think what we're going to do is pretty much wrap it up. Look at, you can see all the pictures in fairly high quality. Once you click on them, you can see. Yeah, that's a elongated battery. I didn't ask him questions about it because there were so many other features to talk about. Look at that steering wheel. All right, people. Thank y'all for watching my channel tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember, Monday night, this coming Monday night is the 19th at 7 o'clock. I'll be at the Board of Aldermen meeting, and I'll be bringing up this little bit of the informational quality control transparency thing. We want to know if the slab is it right, or am I right that it got frozen? I don't have to be right, but even if it is, I want to see the transparency. I want to ask for acknowledgement that the procedures were done right, or they weren't. It's just a question. I don't mean no harm or try to be a troublemaker with it or nothing like that. We just want quality, Ozark, Missouri, quality in everything we do, from 30-year outlook plan to building new roads and watch the factories and the businesses come. Yep. Thank y'all for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. Keep coming back. Have a wonderful rest of your